So Yahya Sinwar was the head of Hamas, the chief orchestrator of the evil genocidal October 7th attacks against Israelis and Jews. And Meaningful Minute did a conversation with one of the Israeli soldiers who was in the unit of the group that killed and eliminated this mass murderer. And I want to share with you the story that he shares about how he was eliminated, because I don't think most people know this, and it's absolutely fascinating. Have a watch.
Tell me about Yahya Sinwar.
You guys know Rafah, right?
Yeah.
Rafah is divided to a bunch of different neighborhoods. There's one neighborhood in Rafah called Tel Sultan. Now, before we got there, we knew that there was 6 hostages that were found about a week before we got in there, and we knew that Yahya Sinwar's DNA was all around them. So we knew we had to be in the area, but the guys we switched out said, guys, don't worry, the area you're in is all cleared out. Just watch around and not look on the inside. It's like a couple of blocks. Look on the outside of those few blocks. Yeah, he said it's a safe zone. So it was Erev Sukkot, right? That morning I was with the guys, was doing our thing. Everything looked very calm. And my wife came from America to Israel for Sukkot because I was there already from Rosh Hashanah. I was already in Gaza. And I said, I'm gonna, my wife is here, let me go out for 24 hours. I'll be with her the first day of Chag. So she has a nice Chag. As I leave, something small was going on. I heard in the radio something small, but I was like, it's probably nothing. I'll just go to my wife for a day and then I'll come back. One of the guys in commander's course, he sees, they were in a building, they went out of the building because there was a grenade that didn't explode in that building, which I didn't know where it's from. They went out of that building to clear that grenade, and one of the guys, a sharpshooter, is like, hey, I see someone moving.
This goes out on the radio.
This goes out on the radio. So everyone starts looking for what's going on. After about 2 hours, they see nothing. Now, at the same time, what they did was they got up the drones. We have drones which I actually got donated. Like one of the drones I got donated from a community in Teaneck that gave me the drone to, for our guys because we needed drones. The drones were flying around, and the head guy of the unit, like the Magad, says in the radio, hey guys, cancel. The guy probably just dreamed, nothing's going on. But there is 2 guys who are Gashashim Yehudim. Basically what it means is there's 2 Jewish boys who they're trained and very well trained to go after footsteps. So they know how to read footsteps, new footsteps, old footsteps, and see how to track guys on that. And they're telling someone, hey, we see something. We have to, even though he said to cancel, we're pursuing something over here. Give us a couple more minutes to figure it out. And they're still looking after those footsteps. And then in the same time on the radio, the drone says, hey, I see 3 guys running. And then those guys who were going after footsteps see 3 guys running. They started shooting at them, and the drone is seeing people, so everyone gets, back, start looking what's going on. They start a pursuit after the people. There's a bunch of buildings there in the area, so they didn't know exactly where they were. There's a guy who got shot in his stomach on the spot from one of the terrorists that was shooting at them. And then they start looking for the people. Now they spread into a few buildings. They're in building A, let's say. There's guys who go into building B in order to fire on building A. As they want to go up the stairs to building B to be able to fire at building A, they see a blood trail in the house going up the stairs, and someone is throwing grenades at them from the 2nd floor. So they back out, and that's when the drone footage, some guys have seen the drone footage. I'm seeing Sinwar on a chair.
That's the one that came from Teaneck? Is that the drone that came from Teaneck?
No, that drone is the drone that goes in the house, but the drone that was in the air on top, that's a drone who came from Teaneck.
Wow. Yeah.
And then so they have this fight with this guy. It was a 2-hour fight because he was running from room to room, shooting at them. It was a very, very long fight. And then once they knew that he was killed, they didn't go to look who it is. They continued on looking for the other guys and fighting with other guys. Now, it took us very long and very hard to find them. Only the day later, like at middle of the night they shot another terrorist, and by the morning they went to look at him. They said, hey, they look what he has for some reason, and they see there's a UNRWA passport, which is like a UN passport, and some things looked suspicious, so they send a picture to the Shabak from this guy, and the Shabak is like, hey guys, just so you know, this guy is supposed to be with Sinwar.
Wow.
So maybe you guys killed Sinwar too, and he might be in the area. So they went back to look at the guy they shot a day before, and that's when they realized they killed Sinwar.
Wow.
I was still with my wife at the time. It was very sad, and no one tells me anything. So I'm like on Sukkot in Yerushalayim, and I get phone calls that my team killed Sinwar, and I have no idea what's going on. So later I went back to join the fight with them. It took 3 more days to kill everyone from that team. There was 4 guys on that team. It took us very long to find them. We found about, I think, 15 AK-47s, a couple sniper rifles, and a bunch of explosives. Now, this is, I would say, maybe 150 feet from where I'm sitting every day. So Sinwar and his team for sure saw us days before.
Wow.
And they had all the ammunition. They were in our safe zone, right next to us. And we didn't see them. So I think that was a very, very close call that we had, and we're mamish lucky that they didn't start a fight with us. And that's how it was over. And then, remember, I came there, I looked, I got in Sinwar's chair, took a picture, which was very cool. And then probably a half a day later, we exploded the whole area, just everything. We wanted to make sure there's no memorabilia from him. And we just, took everything out.
Tell me about...
That's absolutely remarkable. And I think it's a real sign of just how much, providential orchestration there is in all of this. There's been so many examples of soldiers saying just all kinds of remarkable moments of providence that have occurred as they've been conducting this war. It's been a remarkable turn of events, how a year ago people were saying, gosh, has Israel lost its security edge, its deterrence abilities, and it looked like enemies of Israel were closing in on Israel. A year later, Hamas is almost entirely degraded. Hezbollah, the same. Who would have thought? We were told it was going to be such a bloody war to get rid of Hezbollah, with thousands, we were told, of civilians being killed in Israel as a result of such a war. And they've managed to, through these pagers and walkie-talkie attacks, target Hezbollah terrorists directly with very few non-combatant casualties. Getting Nasrallah, the head of Hezbollah, getting Ismail Haniyeh, the head of Hamas, inside of Tehran. In Iranian territory, they managed to do it. And now in Syria, degrading their weapons and chemical weapons because they don't know which regime is going to take over, and it's most likely going to be one that could be hostile to Israel. And it's also paves the way for them to be able to go through a Syrian airspace to get to attacking Iran. It's been a remarkable turn of events. Honestly, who would have thought? And we need to take a moment just to step back and just appreciate how things have so quickly changed in Israel's favor. And it's also important to appreciate that we say in Psalms, it says, "Az Yomru Vagoyim," it talks about the end of days when the Jewish people will return to the land, have salvation, there'll be peace on earth, the Messianic era. And it says, "Az Yomru Vagoyim, Higdil Hashem la'asos imani." Then the nations of the world will say, "Wow, look what amazing things God has done with you." And then the Jewish people will say, "Wow, Higdil Hashem la'asos imani." Wow, look what God has done with us. And why is it said that way? Why isn't it the Jewish people who first say, "Wow, look what God has done for us"? Well, one of the reasons is because the anti-Semites of the world know all the plots they had to try and kill the Jews and annihilate the Jews, and they'll see how they were foiled time and time again by God. And what this shows also is that just as much as we can appreciate Israel's ingenuity, if you don't have God's blessing, you can't do anything. And so we have to also turn our heads upwards and thank God for blessing Israel's hands in all that she's doing, just as he curses the enemies of Israel and the work of their hands. Now, JTV, if you've made it so far in this video, it means you probably appreciate the work that JTV is doing as a channel. We've had tremendous growth in the last year. We're reaching millions of people, literally every week. And it's so necessary. I think the reason that we're reaching people is because people aren't hearing the kind of truth that we're telling that, on other platforms. And it's so important. And right now, we are doing a campaign. And the purpose of the campaign is to raise funds to accelerate our growth, to do more content, more variety of content. This is the campaign page. As you can see now, we're nearly on 40% of the way towards our goal. On the link in the video description of this video, you can click to get onto this page to donate. You can also click the play button here to watch our campaign video, which explains what this is all about. I'm really counting on you and your support. If you appreciate what we're doing, please be one of those people that actually clicks on that link and helps us. We don't have that much time before the campaign's over, so please do get involved. Here's the campaign video for you to watch now. Have a watch. The world is full of lies.
That Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu bear criminal responsibility.
The truth is under attack.
Which river, which sea? So you don't know the
From the media to the UN to celebrities, lies reign supreme. But the thing about the truth is that no matter how dark a room of lies, if you light one candle of truth, it can light up the whole room. That's why I created JTV, the global Jewish YouTube channel. We have been lighting the flame of truth on social media. We believe that the key to defeating anti-Semitism isn't just in fighting the hate, but it's about creating pro-Semitism and sharing the truth. There's nothing inevitable about anti-Semitism. We just need to tell our story with confidence, pride, and love. We believe that telling the truth, exposing the lies, and sharing the wisdom and beauty found within the Jewish story and the ideas of Judaism can transform the world. We're reaching millions of people all around the world from all backgrounds and perspectives. Every day we are transforming people's views about Israel, Jews, and Judaism. How do we know? Because they tell us. But there's so much more we can do. It's time for us to build a team to accelerate our growth and produce way more content that can appeal to even more people. We want to hire more presenters, start doing documentary series, and way more. And if we do that, JTV will start competing with the other big media players who peddle anti-Israel narratives. And that's where you come in. I'm asking you to please partner with us on our journey to spread the truth to the entire world by donating whatever you can to this fundraiser. Together, we will harness the power of social media to shine the light of truth to the whole world. Thank you so much for your support. So JTV is really the platform that you are building. Through your views, likes, comments, sharing it, getting involved, suggesting ideas for topics, and donating too, you're going to become a partner with us in building this. And what it really means is more than just building a channel. It's about becoming a partner in sharing the truth to a world that is truth-starved and has a total vacuum of moral leadership. So now is the time to do something about it. The root of this conflict will not be solved through military might, just as important as it is, and as way more brave our soldiers are than anything one does in the social media arena or the PR arena. But nevertheless, the reason people fight wars is because of an ideological reason, or because of some kind of conception of what the truth is. And so the only way you deal with the root of this is by getting the real truth out there, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So please do become a partner with us and click on that link in the video description. The campaign is live right now and we need all the help we can get. Thank you.